Let's see. There we go. So we got on here already. We got 4 people on here already. We're off to a good start. That's great. It's been a busy week, guys. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, today we've been working on these 2 expat homes today around here. So we've been working on that all week, getting them prepped and ready for them to come because they're coming over here. And we've been talking a lot with expats lately about the One Health Pass. And it's been kind of like a big issue. The One Health Pass has been like a big mess. So it's been kind of interesting, hearing from these people with the One Health Pass that are trying to get into the country and the hoops that they have to jump through. Here we go. We're up to 10 people. So I'm just waiting to see who we got on here so far. Let's see. Wait till it kicks in. We got, see, 2 thumbs up. We're going between 8 and 10 people because we're not even started here yet. We're just waiting until this kicks in. There we go. Wally's on here. Thailand is open for Filipinos now. There we go. RC in Jacksonville. Let's see who else we got on here. We just had a guy in here, a guy fly in here today from Thailand to get his Srrv retirement visa. And he is at the quarantine hotel right now. Let's see. And we got Smoky Mountain Modeler. How you doing, Smoky Mountain Modeler? We got Rick DeVries. And let me see. Ululang Matapang. Mark O'Hare. Mark O'Hare's on here from Chicago, I think it is. And he says, hi, Steve. Good morning, Jeff Legg. Thanks for the great videos, Steve. No problem, Jeff. Let's see. We got Joe on here. The Myrtle Hater is here. There we go. Okay. Bullish old pal. He gives me the praise symbol. And let's see. We got Jim Jimenez. Good morning from Vancouver. We got a lot of Canadians on here lately. We're doing pretty good with that. Let's see. We got 19 people on here. So we're starting to get up. If you guys want to shoot some questions on here, we can start with anything you guys want to talk about tonight. Open forum, okay? Crypto Trucker, what's up? There we go. Let's see. Kim says, good evening, Steve. We've had like a really, really busy week. We've put out, we actually did a video. Hold on a second. Connie, can you go in there and tell Colleen I'm busy? Let's see. And so we got John here from California. And I'm sorry, guys. We got a phone call going on in the background. Let's see. Mark O'Hare, can you explain the Health Pass? That's an app. So actually, the One Health Pass is it's a thing for the COVID stuff, okay? For all your information on there, and actually, it's not working that well. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not working well at all. And what they're saying is you have to at least register for it and have all the documents that you're supposed to have. Just FYI, guys. So let's see. And the guy that was coming through today, he told me about the mess, and he says it's just a total boondoggle. Let's see, JGBK, that shirt is very loud. Yeah, my mother used to tell me I wasn't that bright, so I wore this shirt. So, let's see, Joe Davis, can I load One Health Pass now, even though my plane is January 22nd? Apparently you can, okay? I just want to get that straight. You can download it, but I wouldn't put it this early. I wouldn't put it this early, so... Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to shut this door because they're talking in there. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. We're back here now. Yeah, One Health Pass is not just for Balikbayans. It might be. Yeah, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. It's for every person that's coming in here. It's for the OFWs. Everybody has to fill that out to get in here. So, and yes, you can do it now, but they say not to do it too early. And I think if you're coming in on January 22nd, it's too early. So let's see. John Keogh, you make good videos, but I have a girlfriend of 2 years with texting and video chats, so a lot does not apply to me. There we go. Let's see. Rick DeVries says, Steve, I am down in Costa Rica. Had to get out of Canada before the snow starts falling. Still waiting for the Philippines to open. Any thoughts? I think by January, we're going to start seeing things start opening up. Just the fact that they opened up to the retirees a little bit, even though they set up a lot of hoops for them to jump through, I think that's really a good thing, okay, that they did that. But every time they do something and they open up on one end, they mess it up on the other. And it's just part of the Philippine culture, I think. I think they make a lot of bureaucracy. They love bureaucracy in the Philippines. It's probably one of the most bureaucratic countries in the world for paperwork. They really love paperwork here. For whatever reason, they love paperwork. The more paperwork, the better. That's the way they look at things over here. And I mean, I go into stores every day, and I have to fill out paperwork to get into the stores sometimes. When I go into the mall, sometimes I have to fill out paperwork, sometimes I don't. Depends on their mood, I guess, that day. But we fill out a lot of paperwork over here lately because of the COVID stuff. And that one health pass is a logistical mess. And they're starting to realize that they're making a mistake. Now, Thailand had something that was almost the same. And I guess they just stopped it because they realized it was making people nervous and not wanting to come over there. So, and then a lot of the expats were complaining. So they said at the end of October, it's going to go away, I guess. So keep this in mind, guys, that the Philippines watches Thailand. They watch what Thailand does. Whatever Thailand does, the Philippines follows. So what's going to happen, I think, and this was in the newspaper also. So they said that they're going to follow what Thailand does, but they haven't done the sandbox thing yet, which is kind of interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see if they get rid of that one health passing. And I think they are, because they're finding out it's a big boondoggle and people are getting kind of pissed off about it in a big way. So because it's so time consuming, and a lot of these people have already, that like the retirees that have done the SRRV visas, here's the thing, they've already gone through enough hoops already, like sometimes like a month or two worth of work of getting all these papers together, and then to have something thrown at them like that, it's kind of devastating to your psyche, especially you think you're at the end and all of a sudden they throw something like that at you. And then some people just, I think you're going to get some people that might end up quitting. But don't quit. Don't quit, whatever you do. Kevin Smith says, evening, Steve. Darren Cooper is on board. Now, Darren just got in here today. He's at the quarantine hotel right now. Let's see. He says he made it to the vlog and to Manila today. Thank you. And Mary Rose, you guys made it happen. Well, thanks, Darren. Let's see. Ken Roach, my Filipino wife keeps me young. That's good. That's a good thing. John Coe says, I'm waiting for quarantines to be lifted, being vaccinated to come there. I mean, the vaccinations mean everything today. You know, I don't believe in these vaccinations, but I mean, it's the only way to go, I mean, today to get in here, if you really want to get in here. Let's see. And Sperlin Edwards says, hello from Connecticut. How you doing, Sperlin? Lazy Larry says, hi, Stephen. I will just be listening. I am at work. Okay, Larry, no problem. Crypto Trucker says, is the jab mandatory? No, it's not. It's not mandatory. Okay, but at first they tried to push that, and then Duterte backed off of that. So no, it's not mandatory. Let's see. Algier Vlog. Oh, it's you. So I don't know what that means, but okay. John Maylette says, have you heard anything about potentially doing away with the shields on incoming flights? No. If anything, I think that'll be around for a while. Sad to say, but that's just the way it is. Brooke Snyder says, good evening, Steve-O, from cool and rainy Stratford, Ontario. We got a couple other Canadians on here tonight, Brooke. So that's a good thing, you know. Got a lot of Canadians on here. Let's see. Joe Davis says, thanks for the heads up on the Thai pass. Well, yeah, that's what I was told, that it was ending at the end of October, okay? So just a FYI. I mean, that was something that was passed on to me, so I haven't backed that up, you know, 100%, but I got it from good people, so it should be the truth. Algier Vlog says, I am shy to approach you because I'm too busy. I'm busy too vlogging. There you go. That's good. Let's see, Franz Xavier says, hello from Switzerland, local time 4 p.m. Ulalang Matapang says, Steve, is there an option in the Pacific Prime or Cross that I can choose for pay direct so I don't have to pay out of pocket if I have medical emergency? There is an option if you get the peso plan, so you get they called it an access card. Okay, and when you have that card, it pays the hospital directly, but you have to be at one of their hospitals. So I want to make that, you know, crystal clear. And I have one of those access cards, okay? So oh, you're talking about Pacific Prime. I'm talking Pacific Cross. Pacific Prime is different than Pacific Cross. Pacific Prime gives you 10 quotes for expat insurance. You just tell them what you're looking for, and they'll find that for you, okay? They'll get you quotes, 10 different quotes. Pacific Cross is one company, and they have different types of plans. They have dollar plans, and they have peso plans, and they're all different. So if you go onto that site, just look up the peso plans. You'll find them. They're much cheaper. They're like a Filipino plan. You get about $30,000 worth of coverage or something like that for each episode that you have, okay? So if you have a heart attack and then you have a stroke, it's $30,000 on each one, depending on which one you get, though. So remember that. Make sure you read the plans, because they change. If you're on a ward, you're going to get less coverage. Then if you're on a semi-private, you get a little bit more coverage. And then when you're on private, you get more coverage. You get like $1.5 million pesos worth of coverage. So just make sure you're aware of that. Let's see. JG says, the market did quite well this week, Steve. Yes, it did. I actually made a lot of money this week. So I made over $1,000 this week. So that's pretty good. I made it mostly on Tesla. So that's even better. So let's see. Roger Miller says, good evening, Steve. It appears things are starting to improve here in Cavite. Yeah, it does. It does. I will agree with you on that. Things are starting to look up a little bit. I think people are starting to feel a little bit better, but then there are some times when it doesn't feel like that. So it goes from day to day. But yeah, I think we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So yeah, we are moving forward, but it's that 1 step back that kind of kicks you in the groin and makes you get upset and stuff like that. Or you walk in the mall and all of a sudden you're filling out paperwork when the day before you weren't. So it makes you kind of wonder what's going on. Like it's always one thing or another. But I do see us moving forward. When I see the mall, when you walk in the mall and you can see that you can eat in a restaurant, that means a lot. And that means a lot to me. I kudos to that, because you know what? I want to eat in a restaurant. Let's see. California Girl says, hi, Steve. Have you heard anything about the U.S. will be added to the green list? No, I have not. I did receive some documents today. I haven't been able to look at them yet, and I'll be reading those probably tomorrow sometime. I just haven't had time because we've been inundated with all kinds of information coming in this week. It's been a really, really hectic, busy week news-wise and everything else, and we're trying to like rummage through that. And a lot of people are putting out vlogs, and they're putting them out too fast, I think, because I'm a person where I kind of kick back and wait to see what happens. Unless I know it's factual, I won't put something out there, and sometimes the news is so fast, it's like they let some news out there, then it switches the next day and it turns out to be something else. And then I don't want to pass out information like that, because I think it's not good. It's not good to do that, because sometimes you just kind of sit there. If you want to get the right information, is wait a day, and then you get all the right information. Then you do the vlog on it, because a lot of people are throwing out a lot of garbage vlogs out there, and I'd rather get it out there right. Let's see. Algiers says, I saw you last time, sir, in Pasay Rotunda. Okay, I'm not sure if I remember you, but okay. John Miller says, John from Pennsylvania, thank you for all the current and ex-military for their service. Much appreciated. Ulang says, okay, Pacific Cross. Yeah, Pacific Cross, that's the one you want to look at. Okay, Pacific Cross is a great company. Some people don't like them. I'll be honest with you. Some people don't like them. But if you use the peso plan, you can get the access card, and it pays the hospital, provided it's one of their providers, pays them directly with the access card. Okay, so just FYI, it's the plan that I have. So plus I have some money in the bank and stuff too. Walleye364 says, FYI for everyone, Royal Vacations have all-inclusive to Thailand. You can now meet your Filipina girlfriend there. That's kind of cool. That's good to know. Because especially with the people that are waiting to meet their girlfriend, just fly them up to Thailand and meet them there. That's actually a great idea. I might actually vlog on that. That's kind of interesting. Let's see here. John Miller says, once I get to Manila on Srrv, what is the time frame for approval? Well, you'll be approved probably within like a few days. You just have to wait for your stuff. You just have to wait for your paperwork to go through the channels and stuff like that. But you're pretty much approved once they look through all your stuff and you talk to Mary Rose. I think she'll tell you probably at the end of a few days, just wait for, 50 days or something like that, or 40 days to get your card and your passport back. But pretty much, if she says that to you, I think you're pretty much approved. Not 100%, but yeah, you're pretty much approved unless they find something in your paperwork that's wrong. But usually you're good. She's already passed in most of your paperwork to them anyway to look at. You're pretty much approved when you show up at the airport. Unless it's something that they find out later or something. But most of the time they've already, did all the stuff on you. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about being disapproved because the chances are very slim. Let's see. We got 75 people, 29 thumbs up. RLV, did you check out Marketplace and Restans or Landmark BGC supermarkets when you visited BGC? I did not. I didn't. We just went around like the little pool where they have the Venice things there, the gondolas, and we walked around. I actually have a video, okay, and I have a guy working on it. I have a guy that does my editing now because I'm terrible with editing, and I usually don't have any editing. So I hired this kid to do the editing for my BGC stuff, and I want to show that, and I'm probably going to show that probably next week. I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. And Keith Richards says, I will miss Red Lobster. I think we all will, man. Red Lobster is my favorite restaurants. Wayne Carr says, hello from Maine. Wayne, where are you from? I'm not from Maine, but my address is in Maine, up in Madison. Up in Madison, Maine. Okay, it's just FYI. So let's see, Steve Ford. Hi, Steve from San Moritz. There we go. Is the way to go. Good living. Hello, everybody from Apex. Ulang says, thank you, buddy. JD says, good morning, Steve from Texas. Just waiting on EED to come back to me. Working through Mary Rose since the start. JD, just be aware to do that One Health Pass. You might want to put that up so you know what's going on, okay? Just FYI, be ready for that. So when you get your 9A, and don't get your plane ticket too close to when you get your 9A visa. Give yourself some time to fill out your paperwork and get all your stuff together. Don't buy a ticket like 3 days later or something. Give yourself like a week or a week and a half to just kind of, do that One Health Pass in case you have any issues or anything. You shouldn't even take that long, but just in case, just be ready. They said that if you don't fill out all the stuff on there, as long as you register on there and you take a picture of the code or whatever, the success thing that they send you and says give you some sort of code or something like that, make sure you take a picture of that with your phone or whatever, okay? Do it on your computer. Let's see, Travel Discovery. Hi, Steve. How does trash pickup work? Well, you put it up by the street. They pick it up on a certain day, and then they come by and they grab it, okay? But if the dogs don't get it first. It's usually not that bad, though. Around this neighborhood here, they usually pick it up pretty quick. They come around like in the morning and they pick it up. Red Ranger says, hello, have you heard CFOs stopping Panay from leaving the Philippines to meet their significant others? I heard something about this, but I don't know that much about it. Somebody told me there was an article about it, Red Ranger. If you can send that to me, if you see something about that, I'd love to read that article. Everybody has told me about it, but when I asked them to send me the article, nobody ever sent it to me. So I have not seen that, no. Wayne Carr says he grew up in Bangor. I actually used to date a hairdresser from Bangor. I can't remember her name, though. It was a long, long time ago when I was in my 20s. She used to go to I met her at a hairdressing convention down in Massachusetts. And I think she went to Burlington for that. I met her in Burlington, Massachusetts. JD, will do, Steve. One Health Pass, thank you. Yeah, just check into that, guys. If you're going to be traveling to the Philippines, you're going to need that One Health Pass for sure. Spanish 2001 says, hello from Jacksonville, Florida, newly retired since April in Caribbean, thinking of many a trip to the Philippines. I'm hoping that everybody can get in here soon, man, and it'll be, an easy trip, a healthy trip, and like you don't have to jump through hoops to get here. That's the problem right now. If they continue this jumping through hoops, nobody's going to want to come here. I mean, I'm just being honest, and I don't think I would recommend people to come here if they continue this One Health Pass thing. It's just it's a mess. Can you discuss permanent? Michael says, can you discuss permanent residency visas For those of us that are already married to a Filipina, I'm about to retire in a few months from the military and looking at the permanent residency visa. I think you're talking. Ours is kind of like a permanent residency visa. The Srrv. They don't use the word permanent though. I think they use something else. I don't know that much about the other visas because we do mostly the retirement visas. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about, Michael, when you say permanent residency visas, because I don't get into those other visas. You know, I don't even get into the like the 13A visas and all that stuff. I mean, I know about the fiance visas and the marriage visas. You know, I've gone through the fiance visa process myself a very long time ago. I know about all that stuff, but I mean, they change up these things, and I try to just specialize just in the Srrv retirement visas, and the budgets and all that stuff. I mean, that's the stuff I try to stick to, because otherwise, if you had to keep up with those, you'd go crazy because they keep on switching things up all the time. So you never know what's going on. So this way here, I just focus on one thing and worry about that one thing, and that's it. It's hard enough following that all these other things like the One Health Pass and stuff like that. That kind of goes along with coming in here, and if you're given visa advice, you kind of follow that other stuff too. You know. So we got 89 people, 44 thumbs up. So you never give up. Says hi, Steve. So the One Health Pass is a law now. I don't know if I would say it's pretty much the thing now if they don't remove it. But like I said, the Philippines follows Thailand. So if Thailand's removing their pass at the end of the month, it's probably going to happen in the Philippines too. They're already telling people they're not too worried about the One Health Pass right now, as long as you got all the paperwork with you for everything, for the quarantine hotel, the PCR test or whatever they call it there, right after your first 5 days, all that stuff, you know. It seems like they're kind of changing things, like they're kind of moving away from the quarantine hotel as much as they can. So we'll see what happens over the next month. I think that next month will show us a lot where the Philippines is heading. So we'll see what happens. Brooke Snyder says, Steve, what do you think of a bamboo bed, and would you just buy a foam mattress or inner spring? I just buy the foam mattress. I would not buy a bamboo bed. Brooke, if your girlfriend wants a bed, tell her to come see me. I'll get you a beautiful bed with 2 drawers underneath. You've probably seen, if you've seen my home video, I showed the bed. And those beds are beautiful. Okay, they're beautiful beds. And I can have, talk to me. Give me a call some night. We'll talk. I'll tell you what the benefits of having this bed, because there's like a little secret thing about it. All right, I'll tell you more. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Fran says, when I get my Swiss pension at age 63 early and I move to the Philippines to my wife and kids, do I have to pay income tax on my Swiss pension in the Philippines? Well, friends, no, if you get the retirement visa, okay? I can't speak for the other visas. If you're on a tourist visa, you don't have to either. But if you get the Srrv retirement visa, no, you don't have to pay taxes. That's no taxes on your pensions. If you're working, you do. Okay. Michael L says, Steve, it is called offloading, just like the CCP, the Philippines practice exit control of its population. It seems like that. There is a kind of a problem here getting out of this country, and a lot. I mean, there's just a big logistical mess for people. Nobody wants to move now because of all the paperwork that you have to go through to do things. So a lot of people are just staying seated where they are. Just like myself, I kind of fear for people that are coming here now because of the logistical mess and hoops you have to jump through. And I wouldn't want to see my worst enemy go through this paperwork stuff, this boondoggle, you know. Let's see, Steve Ford says, Steve, I have my alpaca certificate now. How can I find a breeder in the Philippines if there are one? When I Google it, shows me nothing. Which department would be responsible for animal imports? Yeah, Steve, I'm not really up on animal imports that much. I've had people ask me questions about that before, and I'm not really up on that. That's like something that I've had people ask me about getting their dogs in here too. And that's something I really don't know that much enough about. I wish I could help you more on that, but I just can't. I don't know that much. Anything to do with that, when you're talking about animals and bringing things in here, is a lot of paperwork. I do know that, so just be aware of that. Martin Edwards, aloha from Ormoc. Going to Tacloban on Monday to get my ACR card. Wow, Ormoc, my father's ship sunk off of Ormoc. It was the USS Ward. And the USS Ward was the one that fired on a submarine off of Pearl Harbor. It was the one that fired first on Japan, I guess, just before Pearl Harbor got attacked. See, Francisco Fleta says, hello, how you doing, Francisco? John Allen says, hey, Steve, I want to know if there is a Navy Federal Credit Union there. I don't think there is, but I think they have a special phone number just for the Philippines because I think there's a lot of people here that have Navy Federal Credit Union. But no, I don't think there's a Navy Federal Credit Union here. Not that I'm aware of anyway. I'm not really up on Navy Federal Credit Union that much, even though I was in the Navy. I think I had an account with them for like about 2 weeks and I just didn't like the bank. That's when I was like about 17 or 18 years old, and then I just switched, and I never went back to them. RLV says, for your viewers whose landing spot is Manila, be ready for the EDSA and C5 crawling traffic. Yeah, traffic up there crawls. It's getting better, though. It has gotten better during the COVID, so I will say that. Let's see. JG says, Bangor isn't Pennywise from there. And no. Fran says, it's called non-quota immigrant visa for spouse of Philippine citizen. Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of that before. I don't know that much about it, unfortunately. I'm not up on those residency visas, with the exception of the SRRV. See, Damned Cars says, SRRV process seems daunting to me. Waiting for open. Read a news article that said Philippines is 23% vaccinated now. Will be 50% by the end of 2021 and 70% by February. So they've actually slowed down a little bit. That's not good if it's going to be 70% by February. If you find an article on that, email me that, please, at steven5975@yahoo.com, because I heard that they were going to be done by December. They're really pushing for December, I heard. But if they're only at 21%, or let's see, 23%, yeah, it's going to be hard to get up to 70% that quick. So we'll see. I think it's mostly the outer provinces that are having the problems. Francisco Fleta says, I looked at that Health Pass site today and it crashed. I believe it, man. So that'll tell you what you're dealing with. Francisco, that'll tell you what you're dealing with. A lot of people looking at it probably because, there's a lot of stories out there. A lot of people putting out information. Keith Richards says, get a waterbed. I don't think they sell waterbeds here. I've never seen a waterbed in the Philippines. In fact, when I left, waterbeds were pretty much off the market when I was back home too. The waterbed stores all went out of business. I remember when back in the 80s, they were still pretty popular, and then they just went out of business. See, Spanish says, seems too complicated to travel to the Philippines and stay for a while. In the Caribbean, all that is needed is the vaccination card, and you're all good. That's good. I mean, I wish the Philippines was like that. K Fox says, I'm from the Black Forest, Germany. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend, K Fox. Keith Richards says, I am German. There we go. Brooks Snyder says, does he make king-size beds? Yes, he will. Yes. Yes, I'll call you. Let's see. He says he'll call me. You saved me big on the AC, Steve-O. Yeah, Brooke, give me a call this week sometime. Any night except for Friday. Friday, I'm going to be taking a day off to help somebody. I'm going to go out and we're going to be looking at houses. I'm trying to think here. I would believe that he would make king-size beds, yes. And he would make them with 2 drawers underneath. And, yeah, he'll do that for you. Definitely. King-size bed's a big bed, man. In the Philippines, a king-size bed, nobody gets those. But, yeah, they'll, I guess you can get it. I don't even think I've ever seen a king-size mattress here. You might want to look into that first, Brooke. I went looking at mattresses. I'd never seen a king-size mattress here. I suppose you could special order it or whatever. Keith Richards says, I hate those health pass requirements. Very, very stressful at the airport. I think the whole process over here is getting stressful. I think a lot of people are getting burned out on that. I mean, I can feel the stress on me, this past week, just helping people. It's daunting. And I feel bad for the people that are going through this because of the amount of work that they've put into this already, and then have to put up with all this stuff going to the airport. I mean, I can only imagine the stress on an older person. I wouldn't recommend any older people come through there. You probably have a stroke or a heart attack with the blood pressure, Roger Miller says, Venice is in the area called McKinley. Yes, it is. BGC is the other side of the American Cemetery. Okay, that's good. I always think of them as kind of the same, because a lot of people say that BGC and the Venice Mall are in the same place, but I think you're right. That's what everybody's been correcting me on. I have a video out that I put out, and it's gonna be going up next week, so I might be wrong on that. So you might hear me say that, but I still call it BGC because it's so close. You can see BGC from there. If you go there, visit a French restaurant called La Entrecote at Burgos Circle Food and Service. Superb. I saw a sub place there while I was at the Venice Mall, okay? And let me tell you something. They looked like they were good. And I haven't had a sub in a while. I've been waiting to have a good sandwich and some good soup. I actually had some good soup today at Kenny Rogers. I had some nice chicken noodle soup, and it was good. See, Michael says the IO will claim it is to protect Filipinas from human traffickers. However, in reality, the IO are jealous apart chick that us Farang have a pretty Filipina. Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever be able to put a stop to that, Michael. You know, I mean, when these guys are all coming in here, they're going to find girlfriends and stuff like that, you know. See, the closest Navy Federal is in Singapore. That's interesting, Singapore. Let's see, Kevin Workman says, good evening, Steve. It is my understanding that a child born to an American father and a Filipino mother while living in the Philippines becomes a U.S. citizen through the CRBA, Consular Report of Birth Abroad. I believe you're correct. A friend of mine had to fill out some documentation. I think that might have been it. He had a child here, and he registered the kid so the kid would be a U.S. citizen. And yeah, I do think you're correct. Kevin Workman says it would makes sense that a child would be entitled to the dependent portion of the father's Social Security retirement payment. Yes, it gives you a boost in your Social Security. Gives you a big boost. Kind of, some people say it doubles your pay or something like that. I don't know if that's true. I've never looked into that Social Security thing, but I've heard a lot of the older guys over here want to have children because of the Social Security boost, which is kind of a bad reason to have a child, but that's what some of them do. See, Robert Ebro says Las Vegas. We have a lot of people from Las Vegas on here. Francisco Fletas, closest Navy Federal is in Singapore, but they reimburse all my ATM fees and they don't charge foreign transaction fees on their credit cards. Yeah, a lot of credit unions and things like that they refund all that. My credit union refunds a lot of that. They're really good. I have Metro Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts, and they refund just about everything. You know, they're really, really good about that. And I love that bank. Let's see, Kevin Workman says, and also the child and mother should be entitled to survival benefits, let's see, of up to 75% in the event the father passing on until the child turned 18. Any thoughts on this? You know, I know this to be true, okay? Because I know a couple of people that have gone through this. I know of also somebody having a kid and putting the kid up for adoption with their father, so that when the father died, that they could get that extra amount until they turn 18. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on, and that's probably why Social Security is going broke before it should be going broke, because people are pulling these shenanigans. Now, if you're over here and I think you have a kid, I mean, I don't see any problem with that, but I see a lot of like adoptions going on in the United States. I've seen this firsthand, so I know it happens. And people stay quiet about it. What they do is they have a girl will have their father adopt their young child, and then what happens when the father dies, who's the grandfather, then the kid starts getting the money because he's technically the father because he adopted the kid. So that's how they get away with that. Just something to, you know. We talk about fraud and stuff like that. That's about as fraudulent as you can get, but they allow it, you know. See, Francisco Fletes says 80+% in Manila and NCR. Yes, that's true. I heard that also. All around Manila, it's about 80%. I think even around here, we're getting pretty high up there. I don't think it's 80%, but we're getting up there. Fran says, I need good family health insurance for my family, myself, 62, my wife. Friends, Pacific Cross. That's what I say. If you want to get quotes, you can go through Pacific Prime. There's Pacific Cross, which is a Filipino insurance, and you can get dollar plans or you can get peso plans. There are two different types of insurances. One gives you less insurance, one gives you more. So you get what you pay for. But also you can go through Pacific Prime and get 10 different quotes. Pacific Prime is not related to Pacific Cross, okay? Pacific Cross is the one that has the access card that pays the hospital directly, just FYI. Let's see. Francisco Fleta says, Steve, I'm interested in that king-size bed too. Live here in Taguig. Francisco, if you come over here, you can order a bed, okay, off the guy right across the street from me. Contact me by email and I'll give you my phone number. And you can call me. If you want to come over here, you can order it. And this guy does really good workmanship, okay? So if you want to have something built, this is the guy to talk to. He's right across the street. Let's see. Jeff's Misadventures. Hello, Steve and everyone. Keith Richards says, I have never seen king-size napkins in the Philippines. Yeah. Francisco Fleta says, they sell king-size mattresses in BGC. There's even Tempur-Pedic here, but all homes, mall and SM has king-size. That's good to know. You probably have to ask for it. They probably have it in the back room because it takes up so much space in their racks out where the mattresses are. But you're probably right. They probably do have it. Let's see. John Miller says, will I need any documents to bring prescription medications in or just bring the pill bottles? Some things, like narcotics, you can't bring in here. Just FYI. You can bring tramadol. That's about the hardest drug you can probably bring in here. But the other ones, any hard narcotics, no, you cannot bring in here. So be careful. Regular prescriptions, like, for blood pressure stuff, things like that, yeah, you can bring that in. Let's see. Leonard Lund says, hello, Steve from Houston, Texas. How you doing, Leonard? Good to have you on here, man. Let's see, we're going up and down on people here. So we got people dropping in. We got 66 thumbs up, 94 people on it. Green Gog says, what percentage of people do you believe that get the SSR, he's called it SSRV, but it's SRRV visa, will stay in the Philippines and not leave after 1 or 2 years? Wouldn't it be a waste to get that visa and not stay, and a pain? Well, I mean, most of the people that I know that have come over here and got it have pretty much stayed, or they keep it because they know they're going to come back and then maybe go back to the States for a while. They do, 50% of the time here, 50% back there. But with the COVID going on right now, most of them are either staying here or staying in the States. But it's a great thing to have, and if you're ex-military, it's only $10 a year membership fee. So, I mean, that's the best part about it. John Miller says, do you have any hotel recommendations for Manila? I think it's called Sofitel is one of the places they say is pretty good. A Venue is another one. A Venue is pretty close to the Trump building there. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some other ones there. Those are two that I know about. The Sofitel is near the casinos, and A Venue is kind of more close to like downtown Manila, where it's all busy and lots of big buildings and everything. It's beautiful. It's kind of a nice area too. I like it there. I actually love that area right around A Venue. It's kind of like a nice place. There's a lot to do around there, and you're not far from things to travel either. Green Gog says, I have a buddy in the Philippines that registered his child for Social Security and he's retired. The child gets $1,000 a month from Social Security until she's 18. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's why a lot of people do adoptions and stuff like that. A lot of these poorer families in the United States got it all figured out now. What you do is just put your father, your grandfather, the grandfather of the child as the father, even though if he's not going to be, and that kid will get $1,000 a month or whatever. That's what people are doing. And that's why some people over here are having kids, because they have that extra $1,000 kick in. Let's see. John Fiato says it's $1,000 per month per child for SSI. John, are you from Massachusetts? John Fiato? Are you in any relation to Mike Fiato of Massachusetts and Lawrence? Let's see. JGBK, Sofitel has or had the best breakfast buffet at Spiral Cafe. Amazing. I heard Sofitel was nice. I've never stayed there, but I heard it's pretty decent. Lazy Larry says, when my father was on total disability, he would have gotten the money until I was 21 if I had gone to college. Yeah, I heard about that. If you go to college, it lasts till 21 or something like that. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot to that. But that's probably why Social Security's going broke, John Fiato, so he's your brother. Yeah, I know Mike. He used to work, I think he worked at the high school, if I remember correctly. Mr. Fiato. Let's see, I used to work as a school safety officer. Francisco Fleta says, Manila Hotel has a nice buffet too. Yeah, I heard they have a good buffet over there. Joe Davis says, Steve, I have letter from my VA doc for hydrocodone pain med usage for customs inspections. Think that is okay? I'm not really up on that medication. You might really want to check on that because I don't think they're going to let that come in here. I'm going to be honest with you. Regardless of whether you have some letter from the VA, it's about the laws in the country, okay? Because the VA docs here tell people you can't have certain pain medications, and hydrocodone, I'm almost 99% sure that's one of the ones that you can't come in here with. They don't give that to you over here, so just be aware of that, Joe. Let's see, Atomic Vagrant says, are organic veggies available? Yes, a lot of the veggies that are over here are organics. You can go right to these places and get them. And you can buy them from street vendors, and they grow them sometimes themselves too. So you got 103 and 71 thumbs up. Dickie Spaz says, hello, Steve. You're going to eat yourself into food coma one last time before Red Lobster shuts down. That's already closed. Today's Saturday. It's closed yesterday. But they do have the other one open, but I don't know where it is. That's open till the end of the month only, though. Detroit teacher in the Philippines, new subscriber and Lions fan, great videos. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. Craig Jordan, hello, everybody. John Fiato, he's the headmaster of Lowell High now. That's pretty cool, That's pretty cool, John. I knew Mike. I didn't know him that well, but I worked as a school safety officer in the city of Lawrence for a long time up until I retired. That's interesting that you're his brother. Are you planning on coming over here, John? I've seen your name a couple times. I thought it was somebody else, though. I kind of felt that the name might be linked to Mike, but I wasn't sure, So, see, Francisco Fleta says, you can get tramadol here. Yes, you can. You can. But, John, get in touch with me sometime. My email is Steven5975. If you're thinking about coming over here, I'd like to just have a chat with you sometime. It'd be good talking to somebody from back that way. It'd be great. See, Eddie says, sup, Steve, from Arizona here. But, yeah, John, try to get in touch with me. Steven5975@yahoo.com. Okay, and then just ask me for my phone number. Okay, and I'll send you my phone number. You can call me. It's a U.S. number over here, so you can call me for free. Let's see. Good morning, Craig Jordan. Glad you made it. Let's see. John Allen says, will $4,500 a month give me a good living there? John, here's the thing. I'm gonna explain this a little bit in detail. If you're in that budget that I talked about called the sweet spot, and I did a video about that, okay? The sweet spot budget is from $2,000 to $3,000 in the Philippines. If you're in that range, you're doing really good. If you're doing above that, you're doing very good, okay? The sweet spot basically gives you everything you need, okay? It even gives you savings, okay? If you live on that, you'll be able to afford everything that you need over here. You'll have good insurance, you'll have a good life and a good house, okay? And you can have a car. You won't have to be too frugal. You'll live well. You'll live very well. And if you don't have a car, you'll live even better. And most people don't need a car over here. You just rent a car and have somebody drive you around. That's what I tell people, okay? But check out my sweet spot budget. You're going to be way above that. You're pretty close to you're a little bit above me. But I live pretty well over here. I don't worry. I don't want for anything over here. I live well, and I'm very happy, living over here rather than the States because my dollar does go further over here. But where you save your money is in the rents. So just FYI, if you checked out those apartments that you get for $80 in my town, you can live really, really well if you don't mind living a little bit small. But Filipinos live small over here, okay? Those apartments, those one bedrooms, a Filipino family would have like 4, 5, 6 people living in there. An American might have him and his girlfriend and maybe a kid living in there, because after a while you just kind of get used to living Filipino. And it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. Most of the time you're out of the house traveling around and doing things. So, when I'm home, I'm usually on the computer or something. And I don't feel crowded. So just be aware of that. Don't think that living in a small place is something wrong. But a lot of people here, a lot of Americans, they don't want to live like that because they're retired. They want to live in a big house. And I understand that too. But you can still live large over here too. You can get a 3-bedroom home for about 240 to 280 over in General Trias, in a beautiful home, by the way. And you might have to just install AC. Okay, 2-bedroom about 160 probably now. For 1-bedroom over there with AC, with a place with AC, probably in General Trias with a pool. All those places I just mentioned would be with a pool on the grounds in a gated community, and you would pay for the 1-bedroom. You'd pay about 100, maybe 110, somewhere around there, and you have to pay to use the pool. I think it's 50 pesos per person per day or whatever. That's pretty reasonable. But I mean, and these are beautiful places too. I'm not talking like run down places or anything like that. They're nice places. You might, but in some of these places, people have to think that you kind of have to get used to dogs and roosters, because even in some of the places that are high end, some of those places have dogs and roosters still. Just be aware of that, or they're nearby. Let's see, Francisco Fleta says, our VA pension is going up 5.9% this coming year. That's official now. That's good news. That's great news for vets. So they deserve it. Kyle Dedman says, now that the country is trying to open, I think it's time for me to get the SRV. So if you could send me a packet. I don't send the packet, Kyle. Mary Rose tells you exactly what to do. Then you can contact me and I'll help you get started once she gives you everything. So send me an email, Kyle, at steven5975@yahoo.com, and I'll get back to you within the next 48 hours, and I'll send you, just ask me for Mary Rose's information and ask me for my phone number, okay, my U.S. phone number, and I'll get you started, okay? I'll get you going. I'll get you going. I'll answer. If I have to spend an hour or 2 hours to get you, to answer your questions, I will. You might. Sometimes I tell people, call me in the afternoon, my time, if you can't get in touch with me at night, because we do get busy sometimes between 6 and 9 or 5 and 9. I get a lot of phone calls, and sometimes my friends call me or something like that during that time too. So I tell people, if you can't reach me during that time, just call me during the afternoon. I try to pick up if I'm not in a jeepney or something. So, but if I'm home, and most of the time I'm home. So, see, Francisco Fletes says, I have a local Filipino psychiatrist that prescribes my Ambien, Tramadol, and my CPAP machine and supplies. The VA reimburses me, although the reimbursement takes 6 months to come. Ha ha ha. Actually, I have, they gave me like Ambien at the VA. Last time I was at the VA, I'm afraid to take it, because I've heard stories about it. So, because it's a hypnotic drug that makes you sleep. Let's see. Kyle says, SMM, miss you guys. Diamond and Legends. We got Diamond and Legends on board. Hey, Steve, I see your videos on retirement visas, but any thoughts if and when visitors visa will be offered by the Philippine government? Just announced USA will allow outsiders here in November. I think in the beginning of the year we'll start seeing tourists come in here in some capacity, maybe even earlier if they do the sandbox thing. That might happen soon, I think, because we're seeing ads, and they must have been told, okay, put ads up. Start putting your ads out for resorts and stuff like that. When you start seeing ads for resorts, that tells you something right there. They must know something that we don't know. So I think that's good news. Teacher John's Adventure. Glad you're alive now. Interested in one of those apartments. You have convinced me to check out your area when I come back. Teacher John, it's a good area here. I tell people, a lot of people think like when they come here, I can spend a lot of time with them, and I really don't have much time. I mean, I have my friends here, and I do want to do get-togethers so that we can all get together and meet once in a while, and people can ask questions, and they can come to my house, and we can sit and have little meetings, maybe once or twice a month or something like that, and or have get-togethers and stuff. I think it'd be great having a lot of people in this area, because I would like to see more expats in the Cavite province area, and especially on Tracy Martires. I really, really would, because it's cheap here, and I don't think it'll drive up the prices that much. Just to be aware of that, I don't think it will. Let's see. Mike Fiato says, let's get the thumbs up, guy. And let's get some more thumbs up on there, guys. We got 81, we got 119 people on here. Come on. Kevin Hennigan says, thanks, Steve. I gave you a thumbs up. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Kyle Dedman says, let's see. Says SMM, contact me sometimes. You can find me on Facebook. Chinoy says, good morning, Steve, Craig, Smokey, Larry, and y'all. Yeah, we got a good little group on here, man. You know, it'd be great to get a good little group right here in Tracy Martirez, too. And we're starting to get a group here. I got one guy coming this week. I got another guy coming in 3 weeks. And I got another guy that's already rented a place, and he's going to come here when the tourist visas open up. I got Brooke Snyder coming to town here. We got a lot of people coming here. So, I mean, we got quite a few people that are going to be in Tracy Martirez, and it's going to be good. I'm thinking about kind of toning down the Philippine Info channel anyway to probably like maybe 5 days a week or something like that, and taking maybe like Wednesday and Sundays off or something like that anyway. I'm considering that. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Or maybe I can cut some videos in advance or something like that and just work on taking those 2 days off. But it's kind of difficult right now with the busyness of the SRV visas and everything. It's difficult to take time off here at the channel, but I wish I could anyway. We'll see what happens. Dickie Spaz says, inflation is out of control stateside with no end in sight. The increases in SS and VA pensions don't even put a dent in fuel costs. That's gasoline or heating. I heard that. I heard you guys got the same. We got the same thing over here though, man. It's not anything different over here. I don't notice the gas prices too much because I don't drive, so I take all public transportation, and I actually enjoy it, you know. I mean, some days it's a little rough, you know, with the smog and stuff like that on a jeepney, or if it's hot or something. But I mean, sometimes I'll rent a car and just drive around. I use tell the guy to turn the AC up, and I rent the car, and it's $40 for the day, and I'll just enjoy the day, you know, driving around Manila or wherever I want to go, you know. So and it's good. Let's see. Big thumbs up, Steve. Thanks for the info. Hope to meet you when I arrive. Yeah, John, if you ever want to meet up, let me know. You can head down this way, and I'll meet you for an hour or two. We can have some coffee or a meal or something like that or whatever. I don't drink coffee, but I'll have a hot chocolate. Gringog says, if a person puts in air conditioner, toilet, and hot water in those $80 rentals, and they don't like it there, can they bring their stuff into another rental, or do they have to leave it there? Well, you can take it with you. Just make sure you tell the landlord you're going to put that stuff in there and you're going to take it with you when you leave. And just make sure you repair the holes and stuff like that. You can take it with you. But I mean, if you're going to stay there for like 3 years and you put in an air conditioner and it costs you like $600, you've already got your money's worth out of it. Let's face it. Just buy a new one, because if you buy a cheaper air conditioner, I mean, these air conditioners will probably last you 10 years. But they start breaking down, and you start having problems with them, usually after like about 5 or 6. And I got a Carrier. My Carrier is wonderful. I love my Carrier. But yeah, you can take them with you. But I tell people, if you're going to put that in there and then rip it out, it's kind of hard taking a split type air conditioner. But if you have a window air conditioner and your place has that's great, because you can take that with you, yes. The toilet, you'd probably leave that behind, you know. The hot water, I suppose you could take it with you, but it's only $100. I mean, I got one right here. I'll show you. This is what I got. Right here. Hot water heater. I didn't really want it in the house, but the girls did. So I told them I'd put it in, and you know, so I just said, all right, I'll put it in for you guys. Let me see. I gotta go back. I'm kind of lost here now. The thing all popped up on me. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I got it now. Let's see. Brooke Snyder says, USA border just opened to allow car traffic into the States. Lots of snowbirds happy to make it south this winter. Well, I was watching on the program Gold Rush, Brooke Snyder. Those guys were having a hard time getting up to the gold mines and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool watching that. And that was about a year ago, or over a year ago. See, Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info channel, a family member in Makati had informed me the movie theaters had reopened today. That's actually good news if it's true here. Makati is a little bit different because it's different in each spot. But I hope they open up the movie theaters here. But they're using it right now as a COVID place for giving shots. You know, so Atomic Vagrant. Have you used Lazada? Is it a solid way to buy? Yes, yes. Lazada is kind of like Amazon. A lot of people think Lazada is just a store. It's not. It's a group of sellers that sell things on there. You can buy S&R stuff on there. Like you don't have to get the membership. You can just buy it on there. You can buy a lot of things from a lot of different companies. I still buy stuff from like eBay, things like that. I love eBay, and once in a while I'll have something shipped here if it's really something special that I want. I mean, I bought this little set of ships. They were toys back in the 1930s and 40s. In fact, if any of you guys have seen the movie Greyhound, I actually showed these on a video way back. It's one of the ships they use as a prop in the movie. He gets a gift from Tom Hanks gets a gift from his wife, and it's a little tiny ship, and I think it says 280 on the side or something like that. And I have that whole set of those ships. And it's just a nice little set. I paid about $200 and something for that set, but it's really nice. Let's see. Kevin says, living large and living small will facilitate the option of travel in and out of country. When you live in small here, like myself, it gives you the option to travel more because you're not spending so much for rent and stuff like that. And to spend $80 like we do, we spend right around $80. And if we pay in advance, we get a deal sometimes for like 70 or something. But I mean, it just gives you more options, more money in your pocket. It's nice to have that extra jingle in your pocket sometimes when you're going someplace versus being, broke from paying your rent $500, $600 for an apartment or something like that. I mean, some people want to spend that, and that's okay if you got that extra income. And I like living the way I live. I live good here. I'm happy. Gringog says, do you think China will start anything with Taiwan before they host the Olympics? I don't know. I'm thinking before Christmas they will. The way they're acting, there's something going on, for sure. But I heard that the military doesn't want to follow the communists. The military doesn't think that they want to do that. And I guess they're speaking up. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But I read that today online somewhere. You might want to look that up. It's kind of interesting, I guess. I guess the PLA, they call them, does not want to get involved in a war. So let's see how this plays out. I think we might hear more on this. With the government, having all kinds of problems with the economy over there, I don't think they can afford a war right now. We'll see how this plays out. This is getting big, and it might play out really big. I think what's going on with the economy either will force them into a world war, or it'll force them to step back. So we'll see soon. Kyle Dedman says, we have talked, Steve. I have your phone number and your email, so I will be in touch. Okay, Kyle. Yeah, anytime, man. I don't remember everybody, Kyle. I'm sorry if I forgot you, but I just don't remember everybody, so please forgive me on that. I talk to hundreds of people each month sometimes, so I mean, I do forget a lot of people. When I hear your voice, I'll probably remember, though. Let's see. I'm in Alaska, and I'm 14 hours behind you. I understand the time difference. There we go. Okay. Francisco Fleta says, what subdivision would you recommend near there? I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house inside of a subdivision with like a community pool. Okay. Crystal Air in General Trias. Crystal Air is a place that has a pool, and there's lots of rentals in there. And there's lots of different types of rentals, okay? They do have dogs in there. They do have roosters in there, but they have very nice homes in there, and doctors live in there and stuff like that. You're not going to get away from the chickens. You're not going to get away from the doctors. You're not going to get away from the chickens, and you're not going to get away from the dogs unless you go to like a really high-end place. And this is kind of high-end, but it's not that high-end. It's cheap enough and affordable enough for anybody. For a 3-bedroom, probably about $240 to $280 in there, okay? And some of them look like kind of like condos almost, like they're side by sides, like like a what do they call them, townhouses or whatever. And they're nice, they're cute, they're beautiful little places, and they're well kept and stuff. So check it out, Crystal Air. But there's a whole bunch on that same street that Crystal Air is on in General Trias. Okay, just be aware of that. There's a whole bunch of places over there. My girlfriend's trying to tell me, what's the name of the place? Maravilla.
Yeah, and
Sierra Nevada. That's what she just told me. Don't ask me how to spell that, because I'm not even going to try on that one. Let's see. Paul G says, sorry, what location are you, Steve? I'm in Tracy Martirez. I'm about 25 miles south of Manila, okay? Tracy Martirez. I'm near General Trias and Das Marinas, and I'm not too far away from Tagaytay either, okay? Green Gog says, do you think China is staging to act like they are invading Taiwan but may just come to the Philippines instead? No, no. They want Taiwan. I don't think they'll do that. We got five shared bases here now. And we got Pilar all fully loaded. You know, Pilar is that small country with about 20,000 people, and they're related to the Philippines. All those people on the island, and Pilar told us we can come there and go as we please, as much as we want, as much as we need, and we can build whatever we want and build Navy bases, Air Force bases, whatever we want to do down there. They said we're welcome, so that's a good thing, and they're not that far away. And now that we're sharing 5 bases with the Philippines, that's even bigger. Let's see, gas in Manila is about $5.28 US per gallon, 70 pesos per liter. Yeah, somewhere around there. It's cheaper down this way though. JM Ramiro says, when will you open the Philippines, bro? I wish I could open it right now, man. I know you have them keys and good connections with Duterte. I have no connections with Duterte, unfortunately. To ask him to allow your fellow countrymen to come in. I wish I could just open the doors, man. Kyle Dedman says, if you leave, you're forcing us to look at regular television. LOL. There we go. Dickie Spaz says, better hope not Gringo. Current U.S. administration is very weak and won't lift a finger, and I believe would leave citizens to fend for themselves if China invades. Unfortunately, I kind of think the same thing, Dickie. You know, I worry about that sometimes, but I don't know if I would leave. A lot of other people here said they might not leave either because there's nothing back home for most of us anymore. United States has changed, you know. Francisco Fleta says, I buy clothes from Amazon Prime because it's hard to find American sizes and American brands. There's a clothing manufacturer over here called Maxwear, and they sell their clothes in SM, and they sell large clothes for people from the United States. And even if you're not that large, sometimes you need large clothes. I like having baggy shirts and stuff like that. It just feels more comfortable and airy. You know, Mark Norris says, are the apartments near you furnished? No. No, you got to furnish them. Can you get furnished apartments here? Yes. Actually, for about $100, you can get a furnished apartment, 1 bedroom. You might have to put AC in. Some of them might have AC. They're nice. They're cute little places. Not what I would want, but I mean, they're cute. They're okay. They're clean. Gene Lamb says, hi, this is Gene. Happy to hear that Phil is now slowly opening. Thinking of visiting when it opens. Thanks for all the info. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate it. Marco Boy's channel. Let's see. BBM 2022. Detroit teacher in the Philippines. My fiance lives in General Trias. I agree with you. The Cavite area has a lot of great options for housing and all of life's amenities. I have been to the Philippines twice and will retire there soon. Yeah, General Trias is a nice little area, man. You know, all around here is a nice area because you're close to Manila, you're close to Batangas, you're close to Tagaytay, you're close to Tanza Oasis, you're close to a lot of things, and you just hire a car and you can just go for a trip. I'm actually thinking I'm almost ready to go for a trip here pretty soon. We'll see how things go. So, let's see, President BBM 2022. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, Francisco Fletes, does that $200 duty-free amount include shipping or just the purchase amount? Let's see. Mark Norris, how long are leases for the apartments you have mentioned? Would they do 2 months for a tourist? Probably not. Probably not. They probably wouldn't. There's a lady around the corner here. She might do something like that. Mark, if you're looking for something like that, you can go on Airbnb. There's some cheap ones on there. There's some cheap ones on there around here that are furnished, and they run through Airbnb. You just have to look for them. Okay, but yeah, you'd have a hard time. They usually want like a 1-year lease with these places. You know, I mean, for $80, man. If you're staying here permanently, they're a great deal. You know, Gene says planning to retire there. So Gene, you're planning on coming here to Tracy? Craig Jordan says, I can't believe China would make a first move to destroy a profit center through war.
Rational actors usually don't do that. I don't think Z is a rational actor. I think the guy's not as bright as he thinks he is. You know. Let's see. Francisco Fleta says thanks. I'm trying to save those. LOL. Let's see. Dino Villamore says hi Steve. I'm enjoying your channel. Retired this year and waiting to move to Cebu City. Do you have any issues trading U.S. stocks in the Philippines? No. No. You can put. I don't put it on, but you can put your VPN on if you do. I don't have much of a problem at all, to be honest with you. Steve Ford says, how long does Landers compare to SNR? Landers? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by Landers, Steve. I'm not that familiar with Landers. Never heard of them. Craig Jordan, Detroit teacher in the Philippines, escaped from the Detroit Lions by retiring to the Philippines. Let's see. Detroit teacher. Maryville is awesome. Maryville is awesome. Yeah, that's not too far away, according to my girlfriend. That's not too. That's like 10, 15 minutes away, I think. New admin and president of the HOA. Very safe and clean. Yes, that's a very, very clean place. We're actually going to be looking into that place for Darren, the guy he's going to be actually checking in with me on Friday. We're probably going to go over there to check out the place to see what they have over there. I don't know that much about the place. Do they have a pool over there, Detroit teacher? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a place with a pool. So, but that's one of the places that we're going to be checking out. And let's see. John G says, Steve, are you aware of any options for ex-military when it comes to the pension required for SRRV? Yes. I have a large 401k, but think that doesn't count. No, it doesn't. Want to do the $1,500 deposit and prove $1,000 a month. If you can do that, man, you can get in here. Okay. There's not many. There is another option. I don't know that much about it, and I don't think it would work right now because of the COVID. Okay, so I know there is another option. I mean, I just look at the SRRVs, but I did hear something about that when I first got here. One of the RAOs over here was talking about it, and I didn't pay much attention to it, unfortunately, because I was so up on the, so gung-ho about the SRRVs. And at the time, I didn't know I was going to be doing a channel like this, so I didn't pay much attention. I should have paid attention, Mark Norris says, I read where the U.S. has had special forces training the locals in Taiwan for a year now. Yes. I was thinking about this the other day, that I think there's more than just special forces there. I think there's a lot of people there that they're probably staying quiet about, because they're not going to tell China, hey, yeah, we just dumped 10,000 troops in Taiwan, for when you storm the beaches. I think there's more than that. There's more to that story. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, sent you an email with my phone number so we can text about the subdivisions, because I didn't catch all the names. Okay. Yeah, Francisco, I will probably be on top of that stuff probably within the next 48 hours on my emails, because I've been really busy. But I haven't answered them when I have a free minute here or there. I answer them. Tonight I'm probably just going to go to bed when I get done here, because I have to call my sister after here. Okay. K9 Companion says, hey, Steve, always enjoy your videos. Thanks, man. So we got 135, 101 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We have a lot of people that skip through here. They watch us for a little while, and then they skip on to something else. Some people, we get a lot of regulars on here, and I'm kind of glad about that. I think we have a lot of the regulars hop in here almost every week for at least 10 minutes or something like that, or sometimes the whole show, and it's great. Let's see, USA to Philippines life. Hi, Stephen, to all your fine folks in the chat. Thanks, man. Gene Lamb says, yes, I'm thinking about staying in Tracy near Manila. Well, check in with us, Gene, when you get here. We'd be glad to meet up with you. Francisco Fleta says, Landers is very similar to SNR. SNR is like Costco. Landers is like Sam's Club. Yeah, I've never been there. I've never heard of that place. It's funny, I've never heard of that place. I think one person mentioned it to me in the past, but that's about it. And I forgot about it. I didn't know anything about that. See, Green Gog says, you're lucky you found a great woman for you there, Steve. Congrats, and she really appreciates you. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really gotta, my girlfriend's really good, and I tell people this. It's kind of funny because I like a woman that's very straightforward. And one thing I can say about my girlfriend, she tells you where the dog died. And I appreciate that because I've been with women in the past who would give you the silent treatment. And I'd rather have somebody that lets me know where I stand and what's up, and she tells me what's up, and if there's a problem or something like that. And, she doesn't hold back. And that kind of leaves communication lines open. And I can't stand a woman that shuts down communication and holds that back from you so that you can't talk to her, and that's the hard part. Let's see. Detroit teacher says yes, a pool playground not maintained as of yet due to COVID. Okay, I got you. Residents are placing pressure on HOA to reopen these. Okay, I'll let my friend Darren know. That's good to know. I think he's watching us right now, so he's probably on here watching. I hope he heard that. Francisco Fletes says, I did the 10K deposit with the 1,500 pension, SRV, human touch. I didn't qualify for the veteran visa, even though I'm a veteran because I'm 40 years old. I gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't. Unfortunately, that's part of the story. I wish that they would help people with that get in here, even though they were 40, but they won't. Spanish 2001, seems like most expats get married or have a live-in girlfriend. Is it hard to live alone and date and enjoy life without all the commitment? No, you can do it. People do it here. I think it's safe for living with somebody if you're older, though. If you're younger, yeah, I suppose it's okay. Just make sure you have somebody, a friend or something that, God forbid, something happens to you, that they can take care of you and leave a little package with them, who to call in an emergency or something like that. Let them know how to take care of you and stuff. See, Gene Lim, I will check with you, Steve, when time comes. Yeah, Gene, definitely check in with me. I'd love to meet you. If you need any help or assistance or anything finding a place here, let me know. I'll help you find a place. Okay, if I can't, my girlfriend will. Okay, she'll help you. Detroit teacher in the Philippines says, thank you to all veterans. I like SR much better than Landers. It's about the deals. Ronald D says, hey Steve, travel discovery. How's your goddaughter? My goddaughter's awesome. She was over here today just a little while ago. Travel Discovery is a channel, really good channel. If you guys want to check out a good channel, Travel Discovery is a good channel. Okay, she does some really good videos. I tried pushing some of her videos before, and I hope she's monetized now. I'm not sure. Are you monetized yet there, Travel Discovery? I hope she is. She should be by now. Lazy Larry, Steve, you can blame the Chinese for the age limit. Yeah, they screwed up the age limit for most SRV holders. A lot of people don't know that, but the Chinese were the ones that did that because they got 27,000 people in here. Actually, more than that, I think, that were 35 or supposedly older, but some of them supposedly had fake birth certificates, and they think it's like a fifth column in here to try to take over the Philippines, some people have said. And that was on news reports, too, the fifth column comment. That wasn't just people talking on the streets or anything. That was Filipino news. They think that it was like a fifth column that was put in here in case they go to, if the Chinese go to war, these people will become like terrorists here, kind of. So it's kind of scary. Let's see. Wendell Davenport says, hi, Steve. I'm 60 plus retired. I have a $2,700 per month income. Am I eligible to come there? I'm a non-veteran. Yes, you can. Let's see. 60 plus. You can get in here with $10,000 for a security deposit. Okay. And but you're a non-veteran, so it'd be $10,000 plus your $1,400 application fee, and I think you have to pay your first year of your fee or whatever. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's like $300 and something for you guys. Okay, so just FYI, I can help you with that whenever you're ready, Wendell. Just if you're ready, let me know. You can email me at steven5975@yahoo.com. Ask me for my phone number and ask me for Mary Rose's information to get started. And once you hear from Mary Rose and you get your information, give me a call, okay? And I'll get you started. We'll do it, But once you get that like the list telling you what to do, call me and I'll get you started on the police reports and the apostles and stuff on the flip side. Mary will help you with all the other stuff, okay? Justin in Arkansas, if the monthly income does not actually say pension, then it does not qualify for military SRV. You are correct. Yes, that's true. Yeah, it has to say pension. Okay? Let's see. But SS is a pension. Okay? So travel discovery not monetized yet. Trying, Steve. It's a hard thing to get out of travel discovery. Wow. I hope you're pretty close. You know? Wow. Guys, if you guys want to check out her channel, Travel Discovery, write that name down and check out her channel. She does a lot of good vlogs on the Philippines, and you may want to check out her stuff. She does a little bit different stuff than what I do. She does more on like the customs and other things, and she does a lot of good stuff. Just check her out. You'll like it. It's like almost like it's very professionally edited, I must say. She just does an awesome job on what she does. Let's see. Biggie B says, for retired military at 45, is the age limit still 50? Yes. It's still 50 to get the visa, unfortunately. I wish I could say otherwise, but no, it's 50 plus. Kyle Dedman says, hey, Steve, I own my home outright in Iloilo. We are not married yet. I am 67. I have a pension. Is there going to be a problem with the SRV? Can I use the money that I paid for the house? Well, you have to have cash. You can't use your house, unfortunately. It doesn't work that way around. You have to put the money in the security account, and then you can use it for buying a condo, or you can buy leased land with a home on it, okay, long term. But the PRA puts their name on that stuff too, so keep that in mind. So if you buy something, the PRA's name's on the deed if you buy a condo. Or if you do a lease, their name's on there. That's per Mary Rose. She told me that the other day. I didn't know about that. That's something new. You learn something new every day with the Philippines. Trust me. All their paperwork is always, man, if you heard all the stuff that we have to remember, it's incredible. Francisco Fletes says, I started living alone doing the dating thing. Eventually got a live-in girlfriend. This is much better. She helps with all the bill payment, dealing with Filipino unique issues like rent and bills. You know, Francisco, that's one thing I love about my girlfriend. I give her the budget and she takes care of it. She takes care of the food, she takes care of this, the rent, everything gets taken care of. And it's good for me because I'm retired. You know, I mean, I'm busy already running the channel, so I'm really kind of, not retired. Because, I mean, I donate a lot of time answering phones and stuff like that. It's incredible the amount of time that we put in on this. But I really enjoy helping people, so that's the good thing. So, Spanish 2001 says, getting ready to turn 50 soon. Would that qualify me for a retirement visa? Yes, if you're getting ready to turn 50 really soon, you can start the process probably. And then I think you could. It depends on how close you are. If you want, you can contact me. We can talk. If you need some help, Steven5975@yahoo.com. And I'll just ask me for my phone number. We can talk. Jim Unger, No More Snow Channel. There we go. I will check you out, Travel Discovery. We're also working on our 1,000 subs. I hope you guys get there, man. It's tough getting there. It's tough getting that amount on your channel. You really have to keep up the amount of vlogs that you have going out, quite a lot. At least do like 2 or 3 a week. See, Francisco Fletes says, I got my SRV at 39 years old 1 month before they shut down the visa. You were lucky, man. You were really lucky. Now I'm grandfathered, so I'm lucky. Smoky Mountain Model says, Kyle Dedman, Calvin said you can only use your deposit before you build the house. Let's see. Yeah, you can't. After you own a house, you can't put your house up. It's just you can put the money into the account at the PRA. When your money's in the account, then you can either do the lease, long-term lease with a house on it, or you can buy a condo. But like I said, you put your name on it. So just keep that in mind. DJ Joe says, good evening, Steve. Watching from Angeles City. For those U.S. vets who are rated by the VA as 100% P&T and are 13A visa holders, do they get any perks in the PI such as PWDID? I'm not sure about that because I've never really looked into the PWDID. I've never really got into that much. I'm not sure you can, because I think it's just for Filipino citizens, just like the senior citizens thing is. But I'd have to look into that a little bit more. I'm not sure. You know, here's the thing. I've looked into some of this stuff before, and they're very vague, and they mention about citizens and stuff like that for like senior citizen discounts and for some of this PWD stuff. I mean, I think you might be able to get the PWD ID, but when I looked into the senior citizens discount stuff, which you didn't mention about, but I'm going to bring this up anyway, that you have to be a citizen. Now, if you have the PRA card, which is it's a retirement card that they give you, like it's a just an ID card. Some places will give you a discount, and it's on them. If you show them that card and they give you a discount, it's on them, because you're not using it illegally as a senior citizens card. You're asking if they give discounts for retirees, for Philippine SRRV retirees. Sometimes they'll give it to you because you have a Philippine card, so they'll give it to you. Then it's on them. If they give it to you by mistake or something like that, it's on them. Okay, it's just FYI. I was told that by one of the PRA people. Okay, Diamonds and Legends, gotta run, Steve. Waiting for the chance to get back and say goodbye to Massachusetts for good. I hear that, man. I remember leaving. It was a good feeling leaving there, man. It really was. You know, there's some things I miss about Massachusetts. I miss the place, but I miss a couple of people back there too. But a lot of the people I don't miss too. You know, Lazy Larry says, Jim Unger, are you related to Ken? So let's see. Kyle Debman says SMM. I don't follow Sunshine Shoulders on that because he knows nothing about the SRRV. Yeah, I don't think he knows that much about SRRV stuff that much. He doesn't. He didn't go through the process, so he really doesn't know that much. I don't mean to put the guy down, but he just doesn't know that much about SRRVs. SRRVs, there's a lot to SRRVs, a lot more than people think. There's a lot of little nuances and stuff like that all the time coming up, and it changes consistently, almost daily sometimes. Sometimes I put out stuff, 2 days later, guess what? It changes, and that's part of the SRRV process, unfortunately. Canine Companion, and that's why Mary Rose keeps in touch with me all the time. Canine Companion says Travel Discovery is sitting at 396 subs, counting me now. Yeah, she's a good channel. Really, really good channel. I mean, she puts out some good stuff. It's too bad she couldn't get up to 1,000. I wish she could. You know, she's been out there for a long time working on that. So I hope she does well on that. I wish her well on that. Dawn says, "Hi Steve, I'm going to be going to the Philippines under the Balikbayan program. Is that going to be an issue, being able to apply for the SRRV?" No, you can still apply. You can do it. You can definitely do it. Actually, if you come in here and you're married and you get into the country on your marriage visa or whatever, and you come in here and you apply for the SRRV, if you ever went through a divorce, you can still stay here. You don't have to leave. That's the good part about the SRRV. I want people to be aware of that, because you know sometimes marriages do break down and they can get you kicked out of here or make life hard for you. And I've seen people go through that. So just FYI. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, Kyle Deadman, he just mentioned it in passing, considering the SRRV myself. Let's see, J.M. Ramiro, can I get by with Spanish in the Philippines, or is it necessary to learn the Filipino language? Well, Spanish makes up a lot of their language. In some sections, even more so than others, because they have different dialects and stuff like that. Up north, there's a lot more Spanish, I heard, in their lingo. My friend was Spanish, actually Portuguese, and he was up north, and they were almost speaking his language, he said, which is kind of funny. He says he could understand a good majority of what they were talking about. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, let's get together for some single malt 18-year-old singleton whiskey and a nice Cuban cigar, Steve. I don't smoke and I don't drink whiskey. So, but if you ever want to get together and you want to meet up, yeah, I'd be glad to meet you someplace. You know, if you ever want to meet over in Dasma or something like that, Dasma SM, I'll meet you over there. We can sit down and have a nice steak or something if you want. You know, just let me know. Let's see. Jim Unger, no more snow channels, says, yes, lazy. Jim Unger, no more snow channel. He is my brother. Okay. Oh, okay. Craig Jordan says, Francisco Flores says, I haven't had a nice contraband Cuban cigar in forever. And John G says, Steve, for the first time, who wants to move to the Philippines? Is it just stay in more touristy city like Manila or Cebu, or does this not really matter since English is freely spoken? You know, in some sections there's people that don't speak English that much. In some sections like Manila and Tracy and all around this area, everybody speaks English pretty well. But when you move out to some of the provinces, a lot of people don't know a lot of English in some sections because the education system is just failing in some of those places, or people quit school early. So just be aware that when you go out to the outer edges of the Philippines, they might have a hard time talking with you in some places, more so than here. You know, not to say that they can't speak English. They might be more broken, or they might misunderstand you more. Just be aware of that. Not all Filipinos speak English. There are some that don't speak English at all, hardly at all. So FYI. Kyle says, Steve, no problems. Made provisions for that. Guys, save for your future. Yes, definitely. Francisco Fletes says, they did honor my DV plates, handicap placards for parking, but no discount. That's good to know, man. It's good that you got that. Francisco Fletes says, here the Cubans are available legally. Yeah, I heard they are. You can get them. You can get them in some of the stores. There's not too many Cuban cigar stores around here though that I've seen. But I have seen Cuban cigars in a couple of the stores around here. I thought that was quite cool, actually. I had a lot of friends of mine that were they were to the Cuban ambassadors to Belize, and I was friends with them while I was in Belize, and they used to ride me around in the ambassador's car. When the ambassador would leave to go back to Cuba, they'd ride us around in Belize City. It was kind of cool. They rode me to the airport actually when I left in that car, pulling up in the airport in a Cuban ambassador car. It was kind of cool. Dawn says, thank you for answering my question. Have a good day. You're welcome, man. Atomic Vagrant says, what do you think is best SIM card or phone company? Smart or Globe? I use Smart myself. I love Smart because they have the data that doesn't run out. It doesn't expire. So you can buy like a huge amount of data and have it on your phone for even a year. And it just kind of sits there. So most of the time you use your data on your phone. Most of the time I don't use the phone that much, but I get phone calls when people call me. But I don't call them. I usually have like a few pesos on there if I need it to make phone calls, you know, in an emergency. Let's see. Kyle Dedman says, I was not putting Mr. Sunshine shoulders down. I was just saying he is not informed on SRVs. No, I fully understand that. I agree with you on that, Kyle. I don't think he really knows that much about SRVs. I think he'd admit that himself. I don't have any problem with Sunshine Shoulders. A lot of people think that we have like this running feud with each other, but we never have. You know, I'm actually friends with John Wales too. We talk on the phone every once in a while. I've never spoken with Calvin at all, but I've spoken with John many a time. Both of them are good guys. I have no problems with either one of them. Francisco Fletes says Cuban rum is easier to find. Jim Unger, No More Snow Channel says, Steve, I am going to swing into your area when we get there in a couple of months, looking for a 2 to 3 bedroom. Love the idea of being close to Manila. We have beach property in Siargao City. Yeah, man, if you get over this way, let me know. You know, I'll put out a feeler if you're looking for something in this area. You know, just let me know. Give me the word. I'll put my girlfriend on it. Smoky Mountain Model says, I look forward to it. I'm planning to land in Davao. You have a place to stay when I get there. We can meet up with TJ and Texas to Soy. Michael says there are substantial differences between Tagalog and Castillian Spanish. There is one small region that speaks Spanish Creole called Chavcano. I think there's more than one. And I know up north here, there's a lot of Spanish mixed in with their language, because when my friend was here, he says that there was a lot of Spanish, and that's not regular Tagalog because they have the different dialects here, and I think in some of the dialects they have a lot of Spanish mixed in there. And I noticed that there's a difference with the looks of the people. They're a lot whiter in some areas, and they look very Hispanic. Up north here, there's like a big area like that, and if you go there, my friend says, he says, Steve, it's like going to Mexico City. He says, because of the churches and everything up there, and he says you hear the language, and it's almost like they're speaking Spanish, but they're not. You know, but he understands it. Joe Davis has found out must jump more hoops to legitimately carry my pain meds and pH. getting burnt out, but my lady is worth it. Don't get burned out, man. Just don't give up. Once you're in here, you're in here. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, pain meds, man. Be careful on that, bringing stuff like that in here if they're heavy duty narcotics, because you can't bring them in here. Tramadol is the heaviest pain meds you can get here. Kyle Devman says, yes, Smokey, I look forward to meeting you guys there. Let's see. One DR says, turn your lights, bro. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, why did you leave Belize? I had assumed you were happy while we were there. I actually loved Belize. I had a store there, and I love Belize, but I broke off with my girlfriend there. She was actually my fiance, and it was just something that wasn't working out, and we ended up breaking off. And I was actually talking to my current girlfriend as friends for years. I had a girlfriend, she had a boyfriend, but we talked. She kind of linked up with me. She never really made a pass at me or anything during that year we were talking. We were just kind of like friends. I'd talk to her while I was working sometimes, and and something happened with my girlfriend that I didn't like, and she was actually telling me that I told her in 2 years we're going to go back to Belize, because I put in for a fiance visa for her. I actually put in for it. It cost me a lot of money, and she said she wasn't going to go back. When I went back, she said she was going to wait to go back a couple of years. And I said, well, then I'm not gonna get you to come over here if you're not gonna go back when I retire. I says, that's what I'm retiring for, to have you go back and travel with me. And that's what happened. That's why I left Belize. I knew a lot of people there, and I love people there. I'm still in contact with a few of them. And I spent most of my time out in Key Cocker and in San Ignacio there, and I loved it. I had a little jewelry store right on the beach, and it was a beautiful place. I think it's even more beautiful than the Philippines down there. I think the water's cleaner. I think that places are cleaner down there. It's just more wildlife, it's just a different world there, But that's why I left there. And I still love the place, don't get me wrong. Craig Jordan says, that was the one I just did. Detroit Teacher says, I agree about smart, Steve. To all, I suggest learning Tagalog. Bisaya minimally. Let's see. Jim Unger, no more Snow Channel. Just need a good hotel recommendation, centrally located. Around me, we have Bayleaf. It's a couple towns over. I think it's in Dasma or Gentry, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. It's the next couple towns over. Craig Jordan, Isabela Province has quite a few of the Hispanic-looking mestizos. Zamboigna, they speak Spanish. There we go, see? Chave Cano, Francisco says. Let's see, Gizmo73 says, only numbers and a few words are the same in Spanish and Tagalog. Structure is a little different. No, they have a lot of words that are the same. I speak a little Spanish, and I hear a lot of the words, too. Yeah, the structure is probably different. You're probably right on that. Yeah, it's probably a lot more Creole stuff. See, Francisco Fletes says, find a local psychiatrist or pain medicine specialist in St. Luke's BGC. They can prescribe pretty much anything. I don't think they can prescribe almost anything, Francisco. I don't think they can prescribe you anything with narcotics in the Philippines, because from what I've heard, it's not allowed here. That's what my doctor at the VA said. So, but that's just what I heard. But anyway, I'm going to end this here, guys. We're up against that 90-minute mark. It's 11:30, and I want to thank you guys. And I got a phone call coming in right now. But thank you guys, and God bless, and take care, guys, till next week. Okay, and we'll talk next week. God bless, guys.